Time now to talk about immigration. We mentioned at the top of the segment about 10 million illegal immigrants into the United States after Joe Biden took over. But take a look a little bit at this headline from Breitbart. They're talking about this. I mean, it never stops. Exclusive 1,800 migrants cross into Texas border town in 24 hours. So once again, you've got that going on. You've got 10 million illegal immigrants entering our country. And by the way, let me just say, this doesn't even include, well, it depends how you do the figures. There's the headline from Just the News, by the way. Illegal border crossers surpassed 10 million since Biden took office. We're not even talking about the gotaways. We want to discuss that with Tera Dahl. Tera Dahl, who is our, of course, Real America's Voice contributor. And Tera, thanks for being here. Look, 1.7 gotaways as part of this, either part of this number or actually it's much higher than 10 million ultimately, because if you put in all the gotaways, I guarantee you that number is north of 10 million.
Yeah, good morning, David. Absolutely. The 1.7 million known gotaways, and that is the known gotaways. Like you said, we don't know who else has been in the country. We showed footage last week of people evading law enforcement in that one sector alone, just showing how easy it is for immigrants to get into the country and not even be noticed by law enforcement. And so when you look at these numbers, this is really the fundamental transformation of America. That's what's happening.
Yeah, and you talk about immigrants coming into this country. That's a nice segue to our team coverage here on Real America's Voices, because Oscar El Blue Ramirez down with us near, I guess he's in Mexico somewhere. My goodness, let's go to Google Earth. We love going to Google Earth. Let me zoom in. I need to put on my glasses. Never mind. Oscar, tell us a little bit where you are exactly in Mexico. You're with the next caravan heading this way.
Yes, sir. Good morning to everybody. We are located in south of the border of Tapachula. Behind me, you will see the migrant caravan that is coming right now, exiting the south border, coming in from Guatemala. The entities are from Central America and South America. All of them, they are potentially going to the northern borders of the United States of America. In the next incoming days, they will be arriving into the northern borders of the United States of America. Quantities, they're oscillating between 2,000 to 3,000 people just walking on this small group. More are going to come together as they are going to continue to walk on this highway that we have walked before. Many caravans to all of you guys.
Oscar, what is the makeup of the folks behind you in terms of men, women, children, families? What does it appear to be?
The majority is military-aged men. But yes, you have several children, you have several women. But the entities, the majority are military-aged men between 18, 19, 20, and 25 to 30 years of age. This has been continuing, and all of this is going to be arriving potentially into the borders that is called Arizona to Lukeville, Arizona. The majority want to go to those particular places. Ultimately, also, they have heard about Eagle Pass, Texas. They have heard about those particular locations where they cross through the river. And you ask them and you tell them, how do you plan to enter? Because right now, but they're saying that they're deporting people that they're entering illicitly into the United States. They say, we don't care. We're just going to deliver ourselves to the authorities and see what happens from there.
Oscar, stay with us for a moment. Tera Dahl, the key phrase there, military-age men. That should be, let's be honest, a warning sign because we know what's going on once many of them get here. Talk to me a little bit about that, Tera.
Well, again, even in the month of October, there's reports that over 100 Syrians have crossed and have been apprehended at the southern border, 50 Iranians. We know that the last 2 years, David, there's been 72,000 immigrants that have been apprehended from special interest countries. And so that is there. And we know that the Chinese, there's been over 20,000 Chinese, majority are military-aged men that are coming over at the southern border. And when you look at that, we know the threats are coming from China, and they're bringing in their saboteurs to come here into the United States. There could be terrorist cells coming. When we look at the war in Israel, I'm sure they're bringing people over. We already know there's Hezbollah and Hamas here already. So every single alarm bell should be going off, especially looking at what Oscar is showing us here of those that are coming, military-aged men.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, folks, take a look at what's literally happening. Oscar, you're with us again. And I mean, you just don't see this often here on live television. Literally, Oscar walking with the caravan heading towards the United States border. Oscar, talk to me a little bit about what they expect to happen when they get to the United States. Do they expect to just say, okay, here you go, take me into custody, and because I'm going to go to a family member in the United States? Or are they going to make a run for it? What's the plan? What are they planning to do?
You basically describe what has been happening in the last years of the Biden administration. That is what that has been, that is the reason what has been happening. And I asked one migrant yesterday from Venezuela, what he plans to do when he enters to the borders. He says, I'm going to plan to deliver myself. And I said, deliver yourself. That means that you're going to enter illegally, jump a wall, cross a river, or just go through another route. And he said, yes. And if they take me, they take me. If they don't, well, I'll return back to my country. The message is clear from the Biden administration. This disaster of border that he has created, it is that, they enter. If they get an opportunity, they will stay. If they don't, immediately they will be deported back. So they, without a doubt, whatever the consequence or whatever the reason it is of how they are going to enter, they do not care.
Real quick, while I have you there, I've got to ask you one last question. How long will you said it'll take a couple days to get to where? To the United States border? How long are we talking? How many miles? And how big will this caravan get, do you expect?
Well, I expect this caravan to get in between the 4,000 to 5,000 along that we are walking. And it's going to get to the particular locations that we mentioned around, this incoming week. Perhaps on Friday, perhaps on Saturday. There will be some of them that will be arriving to the parts like Lubbock, Arizona, Yuma, Arizona, and ultimately also Eagle Pass, Texas. That is the way for a lot of people that they know, sir, around the world, They know about the river as soon as you ask them about entering the United States.
Oscar, thanks so much for being here. You're a patriot. Really appreciate you. And Tera Dahl, of course, as always, you are the best.